So Fox News is in big trouble in the Dominion's $1.6 billion defamation lawsuit. Let's talk about it in today's video. Hi, I'm Mike Greiner. I'm a lifelong Democratic activist who's concerned about the direction our country is taking. I'm also a lawyer and an academic, and I'm here to help you stand up to the BS of the MAGA crowd. So Fox News is in trouble, it appears. As you know, Dominion Voting Machines, the company that was repeatedly defamed by people espousing the big lie that Donald Trump actually won the election, has filed a defamation lawsuit against Fox News for $1.6 billion. They've been going through discovery, and my guess is Fox News is desperate to settle this case. But Dominion, to give them credit, have been unwilling to do so, pressing forward with discovery as they move toward trial. As part of this lawsuit, they've been deposing everyone and their brother, including most recently Rupert Murdoch, the owner of Fox News, who admitted that his hosts lied on the air about the election results and that he wishes they hadn't. Other revelations from the discovery process of this lawsuit include texts between Fox News hosts and their producers, stating that they knew Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani and that whole crowd were lying, but despite that, they still ended up backing up their allegations on TV. Why did they do that? Well, as it turns out, after Fox News called, correctly I might add, Arizona for Joe Biden, apparently there was an exodus of voters and conservative viewers from Fox News to Newsmax and One America News and some of those other nutty programs. Those networks had no compunction about lying about election results. I mean, there was a time when Fox News actually had a fairly well-respected polling operation. Oh yeah, that was just in the last election. And you may remember when Chris Wallace, former Fox News host, was tasked with moderating presidential debates, and he did a great job. Well, he's no longer at Fox News, having realized that there was no place anymore there for people who want to tell the truth. And the guy who did the analysis that said that Joe Biden had won Arizona has also left Fox News. So all that's left are a bunch of demagogues, right? Well, actually, it turns out that these people are worse than demagogues. They're liars. And the reason this matters has to do with the legal precedent of defamation cases. You see, in a defamation case, courts have to weigh the interests of freedom of speech under the First Amendment against the interests of the individual who has been harmed by these statements. And the relevant case is a Supreme Court case called Sullivan v. New York Times, which interestingly enough dates back to the Jim Crow era. And in this appeal of a defamation lawsuit, the Supreme Court ruled that people need to be put into two categories. Plaintiffs can either be public figures or those who are not public figures. People who are not public figures have access to defamation. People who are public figures, however, do not have access to defamation claims, unless the statements were made with actual malice or reckless disregard of the truth. Now, that's a high standard, and the theory is that people who enter the public domain, say people who run for office, are engaged in speech over political issues, that people like that have stepped into a domain where they should expect a certain amount of criticism. Some of this criticism may be wrong or even baseless. But as long as statements of fact aren't made, actual malice, in other words, the knowledge that they're lying with the intent of hurting the other party, or reckless disregard of the truth, which literally means that they knew what they were saying wasn't true and said it anyway, then those statements should be protected by the First Amendment. Well, what's relevant in these legal filings is that it's pretty clear Fox News knew that the statements it was making on the air were false and reckless. And as such, their defense that they're protected by the First Amendment starts to fall apart. Well, they're claiming that, they were just expressing opinions and people should know that they weren't reporting facts. But that whole argument is going to be belied by the fact that the network is called Fox News. And frankly, I'll look forward to a trial where the attorneys for Dominion will be able to play statements by Fox News hosts on the air making baseless allegations about Donald Trump having won the election, and contrast those with the text messages that Fox News hosts and executives were sending to each other in which they acknowledged the fact that there was absolutely no basis for these claims. That's going to be a big-time problem for them. Well, if you want to see just what big liars Fox News is, why don't you check out this video over here where I look at some of their lies about climate change. I'll see you then. In the meantime, let's hope for continued progress. Thank you.